So in the previous video, we looked at calculating these ones, the base year. And what we're going to do now is look at year one. So we'll start at the top, total revenue. Well, we know revenue equals RPKs times yield. And we don't actually have RPKs or yield yet, so we'll have to come back to that one. Fuel. Okay, so now we've got, make sure you note unit costs and total costs. So we need to calculate those differently. So let's have another column over here and we'll look at the CASK. So here's your CASK. These are your unit costs. And remember, CASK equals costs divided by ASKs. Okay. So we go cost times fuel increase is 5%, 1.05, and that's our new year one unit cost, up 5%. We can check that's up 5% by having a look at the percentage increase. So that's up 5%. Maintenance is up 1%, 1.01. That's up 1%. And you can see these last three categories, so airport, landing, nav, are all unchanged. So we'll just make them equal the previous ones. Okay, so that's our new unit costs. And so to find our cost, we multiply the unit cost by the ASKs. So we go unit cost times, and we don't actually have ASKs yet, but we'll put that there anyway. And I'm going to put dollar signs in there, which means it stays in cell D36 even when I move the formula. So I'm going to copy that down. So you can see now, if I double click on that one, it's this unit cost, but it's still referencing the ASK cell because I've put the dollar signs there. Okay, so let's find out your ASKs. We know ASKs equals seats times distance, right? So ASK equals seats times distance. Okay. Our average distance, it says here, stays unchanged. And our seats grow by 2%. So we've got new seats and we've got distance. So now we can work out your ASKs, which is seats times distance. And now I'm going to divide by 1,000 because you can see here that they're in thousands. So your ASKs are up 2%. Now if we go back to our costs up here, you can see there they are, and one of the things we need to do here is divide by 1,000. Oops. No, we don't need to divide by 1,000. We need to divide the unit cost by 100 because this here is in cents and this is in dollars. So we divide by 100. I'll copy that formula down. That looks better. So there's our costs based on the increased unit costs. Now here we've got total cost. So total cost is 1 plus 0.005. And this one is 1 plus So all I'm doing is increasing the base year costs by 1 plus the percentage increase. And so there we have that there. We've already got that. Costs are unchanged, and these costs are both up 1%. So that's up 1%, and that's up 1%. Okay. So we've got all our costs now. So we can copy that formula across, which is simply adds up the subcategories. There you go. Our profit and loss, we haven't got our revenue yet, do we? So we'll leave that one. So let's have a look. Our guests carried, or our passengers, increases by 1.5%. Up 1.5%. So that's our new passenger number. And we know RPKs equals passengers times distance. Okay, so we can go passengers times the distance, and we divide that by 1,000, because again we've got that's in thousands. So your passenger at 1.5%. Now we also told the yield is up by 1%. So 101 times that. So that's our new yield, which is at 1%. All right, so we've got RPKs and we've got yield. So now we can work out revenue. So revenue equals RPKs times yield, and we divide that by 100 because that's in cents. And there we go. So our total revenue is up 2.5%. And now we can look at our, oops, there's our new profit. So profit's down 61%. Revenue's up 2.5%. Costs are up a tiny bit more, 2.7. Because of the operating leverage, you got a big drop in profit. And our load factor, we know, is RPKs divided by ASKs. We can have a look at all these formulas now. Sectors grow by 2%. Block hours stay the same. And our block hours equals the sectors flown times the block hours per sector. 2%. Our cost per block hour is our total costs times 1,000 divided by our block hours. That's up 0.7. Average seats. We got seats divided by sectors. And what else do we know? We've just got the KPIs now, I think, don't we? So the average guests equals guests divided by sectors. Average fare is our total revenue divided by our total passengers. Times 1,000, because our revenue is in thousands. That's it. And then our revenue per ASK is revenue, and that's thousands, divided by ASKs, which are also in thousands, and make it cents. So it's multiplied by 100. Okay, our cost per ASK is cost divided by ASKs times 100, and our cost minus our fuel, okay, divided by ASKs times 100. So that's our costs. And then the last thing we're going to look at is our break-even load factor, which is just our CASK divided by our yield. We get that. All right. So hopefully that's all of them, which it is. And I'll post this up so you can see the full answers.